In this last video, I want to talk to you just about books and how you can search books in the library as well. I think oftentimes students get caught up in searching for academic journal articles and sometimes forget that books also exist in the library and can be really useful in the research process. Of course, academic articles are nice because most of them exist in electronic form, and so you can access them from home or wherever you happen to be, using the computer. But more and more books are also now being offered as electronic versions. So, you're able to access those in that same way. And even if you have to come to the library to get the physical book, sometimes it can be really useful. So when you're looking in the library for books, one thing you can do is simply click on the books icon and then type in your keyword searches here. So we'll use the same one to see what we are able to get. And we see a number of things. Some of these are reference sources here, like Encyclopedia of Gender in Media, but that could be a really useful source to you. And some of them are other kinds of scholarly resources, Taking the Field, Men, Women in Sports. But one thing to keep in mind is, I think I had mentioned this in a previous PowerPoint, but something like this, Paradox of Youth in Sport. You see here that there are multiple authors, usually means that this is an edited volume. If I click on this, I'm able to not only see the availability of the book in our library, but I can also get a description. And you notice in this description, this is an edited volume, and that means each of these chapters is written by a different author, and each one could potentially be useful to me in a paper that I'm writing. So with one edited volume, I might be able to get 5 sources to use in a paper. And so one of the nice things when you do this search for books is that if it is an edited volume, it will usually list all the chapters under the description, so you can look at them to see, is it worth going to find this or not. So, for instance, you can read through these chapters here. If you do find a book that you would like to get from the library, and you are having any kind of difficulty finding that book in the library, do not hesitate to ask one of the reference librarians. They're more than happy to help you find those. In addition, if you're just struggling to find sources in general and could use a little bit of help, you're always welcome to email me, come to office hours, and I am more than happy to help you with the research process. But also the librarians are here to help you with that, and they would be more than happy to sit down with you, to take a look at the assignments, to talk to you about the kinds of sources that you'll need to use in your paper, and to help you make a research plan for how you might find the sources that you need. One last thing I would like to stress in relationship to the process of finding sources for your research paper. This is a time-consuming endeavor. It is difficult to locate the best sources that you can to use in a paper. I would say that you should plan to spend as much time finding sources as you would reading those sources. So if you're thinking about 5 articles at 20 pages long, that is likely to take you at least 5 to 10 hours to do that reading. It will likely take you more than 5 hours to really find 5 excellent sources. So it's one of the more time-consuming parts of the research process, one that can't be simply done in a few minutes by sitting down in front of the computer. So really plan to spend a lot of time in just locating the sources that are going to work for your paper. If you spend that time to find good, high-quality sources, it will save you time in the end, because you'll have a solid group of resources that work together well, and your ability to write about those sources will be greatly improved. If you end up with a number of sources that aren't very relevant to one another, that aren't high quality research, you're going to end up putting in more work later on.